Hello everyone, I'm Brian Croydragon and welcome back to Microsoft Dogs. Today, Dog World Tour. Let's get started.
Hello there, do come in. Charles Dogwin here, and this is my delightful dog Spin. Speak, Spin, and you shall have your cake.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't do this when we have company.
Come on, old fella. That's it. Now, go lie down. That's good, boy. As I was saying, I'm convinced that nature must do something like we humans do when we breed animals. Take dogs. My study of dogs has convinced me there's some mechanism of heredity at work. Someday, perhaps, we'll understand just what it is. Click the picture of us in the corner and we'll discuss it. One thing my travels led me to suspect. The world must be much older than we're used to thinking. In the Nile Valley, I saw figures on the walls of caves that looked like they were drawn by little children. You have to wonder about the people who made them. Were they like us? And the dogs in them looked remarkably like the greyhounds you see racing at the English track. Could they be relatives?
Greyhounds are about 9,000 years old, and they run about 45 miles per hour, as any of them will gladly tell you. Those fellows are ancient, fast, and uppity.
Take white dogs. For centuries at least, humans have been breeding shepherds to look like sheep. The sheep take it as a compliment, and it fools the wolves. Perfectly sensible, really. But where did white dogs come from?
The wonder is they're still around. Some of those guardians are so devoted to their flocks, they won't even take time off to mate with other dogs.
In the far north, near the pole, Samoyeds are quite blindingly white. In fact, most sled dogs have white faces with a rim of black hair around the eyes. To cut the glare, one presumes. Thick, cozy coats. Inspired adaptations, really. Of course, the natives there have been breeding dogs for countless generations.
My coat's barely adequate for England, never mind the North Pole. Up there, a dog needs a proper undercoat to keep it warm.
But who's been breeding Arctic foxes? Or polar bears? Nature and humans seem to be in agreement on what survival gear is best suited to the climate. An animal that blends in with the landscape is less likely to get eaten than one that calls attention to itself, you know.
I think it's time to call a little attention to myself.
Not now, Spin.
Sir Charles believes dogs should be seen but not heard.
Now, in the desert, I met nomads who know as much about breeding dogs as any Englishman, and they keep it all in their heads. What they're breeding for is big lungs and long legs. Science has something to learn from folk wisdom, don't you think?
Science has a lot to learn, period. I mean, Sir Charles thinks what a dog learns in its life can be passed on to its puppies. If we spoke the same language, I'd set him straight.
Once I paid a visit to La Vendée in France and spent some time chatting with a fellow who breeds griffons. Griffons come in large and small sizes with long or short legs, you know. I asked them how they did it, and he said to me, happy accident, mon cher professeur. When a dwarf appeared in the litter, my ancestors saw the potential of a short-legged hound.
Fine hunters, those griffons. Even the ones that travel low to the ground. They're descended from Spinones, you know.
The French make the best wine and the finest scent hounds. I've heard that after the the rebels won the revolution, Lafayette sent a brace of hounds to your, what's his name, General Washington, and American breeders knew talent when they saw it. But I digress.
The American coonhound is the opera singer of the dog world. I long to hear one bay before I die.
Yeah, they pretty much... Yeah, it's pretty obvious this was made in America, and, you know, saying something like, "Your General Washington," it pretty much presumes the owner of the disc would be American, but I'm Canadian. We who were at the time the province of Quebec sent those American revolutionaries running when they attempted to invade.
As long as anyone remembers, and collectively that's quite a long time, there's been 5 basic types of dog, each one quite useful to humans in its way. With those ingredients, we could cook up any kind of dog that walks the earth today. Take Spin here. He's got a hound's nose, certainly, with a bit of mastiff and a bit of herder both mixed in. The mystery is where he got his bristly coat.
Hedgehogs are bristly. My coat is wiry, thanks very much.
A touch of terrier, perhaps. Our little English exterminators are Johnny's come lately in the dog world, I'm afraid. But they make themselves so useful. I'm sure they're here to stay.
Only as long as rats last. When the prey becomes extinct, the predator soon follows.
Now, just have a look at these fellows. All dogs, of course, but look at the difference in their muzzles and the placement of their eyes. Shows you how powerful selective breeding is. Almost a kind of sculpture done in flesh and bone.
People seem to think that flat-faced dogs are fetching. They couldn't fetch uncooked spaghetti. I'm glad I have a proper muzzle.
The time it takes to create a breed gets collapsed when one fellow sets out to make the perfect dog. Old Parson Jack Russell made himself a terrier, and so did Captain Edwards of Sealyham. Makes one wonder if obsession isn't part of the English character. Those fellows just kept breeding for the traits they wanted till they got them. A breed isn't a breed until it breeds true all by itself, you know?
If humans took more care with their own breeding, they'd be a better lot. Can you imagine having to walk around on only 2 legs all day long?
Of course, one wonders what sort of dogs we'd have if we left them free to choose their own mates. I suppose you might say it's my obsession to try to figure out how nature goes about her business,
The truth is, every purebred dog was once a mutt.
Oh, Spin wants to go out, don't you, boy? The neighbour's bearded collie comes in heat, and despite his age, Spin finds her quite enticing. What is it they say about old dogs?
Old dogs are wiser than old humans. That's what dogs say.
Here, have a look at this while I take Spin for his walk. Then you can click the Contents button if you want to poke about on your own, or click our picture if you'd like to take another tour. Ta-ta!
Okay, Len. No.
Right. The White and Bull Terrier's coats came partly from Dalmatians.
Really? Okay, that has to be related to the Otter Hound. No. It can't be the Dachshund. Australian Cattle Dog. The Whippet?
Yes, shave a Bedlington Terrier and you'll find a Whippet's body.
Tibetan Terrier? No. No. Oh, it can't be the poodle with those short legs. Really?
Yes, both poodles and Maltese developed from the same ancient water dog stock.
Okay, this has to be an Otter Hound.
Right. Otterhounds inherited their great noses from the Bloodhound.
Portuguese Water Dog. No. Tibetan Terrier.
Excellent. The Puli is descended from the original herding dog, the Tibetan Terrier.
Another Greyhound?
Yes, Dalmatian genes made Australian cattle dogs loyal to humans and friendly with horses. Right. Newfoundlands got their swimming skills and waterproof coats from Portuguese water dogs.
It has to be the Greyhound.
That's right. The English Greyhound contributed to the Doberman's racy body.
Really?
Yes, it's believed that dachshunds contributed to the small size of min pins.
And that would be all for today. I'm Brian Croydragon signing out. Stay straight.